See, the enemy is a bully. Bullies are loud. Bullies are intimidating. Bullies will try to threaten you, to control you and keep you down. My father told about this bully when he was in the 3rd grade. This bully was bigger than everyone, always throwing his weight around, being tough, mean, mistreating people. One day they were on the playground at school. This bully had a piece of paper. He was writing down names on it. He had a couple dozen people written down. This one student, he was a very small boy. They were in the same grade, but he was little, wiry, didn't weigh much, but he would fight a tiger. He had no fear. He asked the bully what he was doing. The bully said, "I'm making a list of all the people that I can whoop." That little boy looked at him kind of perplexed, a little concerned. In a few seconds, he said, "Let me see that list." He took the list, went down it, and saw his name on it. He was so bent out of shape, he put his shoulders back, got up in the bully's face and said, "You have my name on here. You know you can't whoop me. How dare you put my name on it?" The bully shrunk back and said, "Oh, I'll take your name off." You have to stand up to a bully. You have to stand up to your enemy. Your threats don't faze me. Your intimidation doesn't move me. I know who I am and I know whose I am. You may have a loud roar. You may seem big, but I know me and God are a majority. What He's destined for my life will come to pass. Don't be intimidated by a bully that has no power over you. Ignore the roar. Quit believing the threats, living worried, letting all the negative play in your mind. I know it's loud, but the way you turn it down is by playing what God says about you. When the enemy roars, you'll never get any good breaks. You'll never rise any higher. Father, you said the path of the righteous, my path, gets brighter and brighter. Thank you that my greatest victories are still in front of me. Well, you'll never break the addiction. You've had it too long. Tell the enemy, take my name off your list. You can't defeat me. You can't limit my destiny. You can roar. You can threaten. You can be loud, but that doesn't intimidate me. I know a secret. You're all bark and no bite. I am free. I am whole. I will become who I was created to be. I was in Africa one time visiting my brother Paul, and we went on a safari, saw all these wild animals. The guide was telling us what they had learned about the animals. He said, if you're ever approached by a lion, never to turn your back, but to stand your ground. The instinct will be to turn and run, but lions can run up to 50 miles an hour. He said, if you run, you'll just die tired. He explained that even if the lion is a couple hundred yards away, charging towards you, the best thing you can do is stand your ground and keep looking the lion in the eye. He said something fascinating. 90% of charges are mock charges. The lion is seeing what you're going to do. If you run, they're going to have a steak dinner. If you stand your ground, they're going to back off. It's going to be a mock charge. It's not a coincidence that our enemy is called a roaring lion. He roars to see what you're going to do. Are you going to run, be intimidated, give up on your dreams, turn your back on what God's promised you? Then He can defeat you. But if you'll stand your ground, like Hezekiah, like my mother, and say, I'm not moved by these threats, not letting this fear, this intimidation cause me to shrink back, live worried, then you'll find it was a mock charge. It was a lot of bark, but there was no bite. And see, I've learned the enemy will never quit roaring. I've seen God take me places that I've never dreamed. It's opened up big doors, defeated great enemies. You would think He'd say, okay, Joel, he's not going to listen. God's been good to him. But even now, I still hear the roar. You've made it this far, but you can't keep this up. You've seen your best days. The opposition is too much. The roar still comes, but I've trained myself to not pay any attention to it. My attitude is someone saying something? Do I hear some noise? You can get to the point where you don't give it the time of day.